Welcome back to my channel, Just Shawnee. So you should just subscribe right now if you're new. Hi, welcome. Just subscribe right now. This is Just Shawnee. Okay, hit that subscribe button. It was just like, I think you're very attractive. This is my number. You could call me sometime or text me sometime, wherever it may be. Lord, I had put that in my apron, get home, and I'm counting my tips, and my leader would help me count my tips or whatever. She found a dang napkin. Why did she find it? Lord, she swore up and down I was cheating on her with that guy. I was just like, he's that guy. Why would I cheat on you with a guy? Why would I cheat on you, period, when you look that good? Like, I already I don't understand. So that caused problems. Like, come to work and people are just like everybody at work is just like, oh, don't talk to Bree because her girlfriend gonna get mad. And I'm just like, bruh, I can't have friends at work now. Like, bruh, she think everybody freaking like me. I trade somebody and then oh, she like you. I'm the type of person, work is everything to me. And the fact that my job is my personality, if we got in an argument once. We got in a really bad argument going to work. We're both working that shift, getting a really bad argument in the car, crying, upset, this is that. And I go into work like nothing happened. I'm smiling in my face. I'm happy go lucky because that's my job. But she did not understand that. She was like, I can't work because I let my feel. No. This is my money. I'm going to work. You can be mad all you want, but we still have bills to pay. Like, somebody got to bring home the bacon, and my tips cover a lot of it. Like, what? Why would I miss out on money just because we had an argument? That's silly to me. We always have arguments, so it was just like, yo, I can just let that roll. I'm the type of person, if we argue, I still love you. Point blank, period. So if we argue and we don't make up, I'ma still say, hey, I love you. Point blank, period. We're just not gonna agree, but I still love you. I'm the type of person who needs to reassure people. Like, I just feel like I have to, because a lot of people say that they don't know that I like them, they don't know that I love them. So I do those little things that I would feel helps me with the person I'm with. I just try to take in the tidbits. I get fired from, well, actually I quit that job because I was just over it, honestly. Like, it was just not working with my schedule, and I was trying to get a promotion to manager. Like, my manager was like, well, you gotta learn every station. So that's what I did. I learned how to bake, I learned how to grill, I learned how to cook, I was about to learn how to butcher. Like, I learned everything just for, it was a race thing. I don't understand. I was like, why are we still dealing with racism? Like, I get a tidbit from people. One of my managers was real cool, mad cool. He was just like, let me tell you the real. You will never be a manager here because you're not a white male. And I'm just like, I wish someone would have told me that instead of me wasting my time being here. I could have been left and been somewhere else being a manager. So I was just fed up with it. I would just, after knowing that and the fact that they didn't respect that I was a good worker, it was just like, peace. So because I was like, peace, she was like, peace. So we're both jobless now in our apartment. Well, thankfully she's a chef, so she got a job and whatever, started working. So we only had one car. So she got a job on campus. She started cooking on campus or whatever. And she was just like, just focus on school. And I was just like, bet. So I just focused on school while she paid the bills. And she slumped into a depression. And we had a really bad fight. I don't even remember. It was because her friend, that first, the white girl that I was hitting on at first, don't like her. She's a Libra. I didn't like her because she would always degrade me for real. She would always have something negative to say about me or whatever. I don't even understand why she didn't like me. I don't know. Whatever. Well, anyway, it was a situation where she was going to go hang out with her. The fact that I didn't like her best friend, one night, whatever, she was in town. One day her best friend was in town. So she was like, yo, I'm going to go hang out with her while she's here. And I was like, bet, cool, whatever. So this was in the daytime. Nighttime comes and I'm just like, I didn't hear anything. I'm not hearing from her. She's not texting me. I'm texting her. She's not replying. So I call her. I ain't getting no ring. I'm just like, what the freak is going on? So I'm just freaking out like, what is going on? Because she's on my car and she's not answering her phone. And she's with her best friend or whatever. The situation, however it went, I was just like, bruh, if you don't get here right now with my car, because I did not trust her best friend. Her best friend was always on some shady stuff. I ain't like her, didn't like her at all. If you don't come back with my car, we're gonna have some problems. Well, she comes back, I think like the next morning, and I'm just like, bruh, oh, where you been? I was about to call the cops on you. Like, what? And she's like, what do you mean? This isn't that. I'm just like, you can't answer your phone. She was like, oh, my phone died. So you don't know my phone number? No one else has a phone? No one else has a charger? Like, what is going on? I don't understand why I couldn't have been in contact. Like, I don't understand. The whole time you were there, whole time you were with her, your phone was just dead the whole time. Don't believe it, not hearing it. So I'm upset. So she gets upset and she goes to the bar. But I don't know this. Apparently she went to the bar or whatever. And I'm just like, bro, like, you went to the bar by yourself? Like, she used to do that all the time. We're in a heated argument. A heated argument. And I'm just like, bro, what's going on? So she has a moment where she just breaks down, like, I can't do this, this is that. I'm about to kill myself. So she grabs a knife. And I'm just like, bro, I get all the knives and put it in a bag. And she's fighting with me to get the bag. And she's fighting. And while she's fighting, guess what happens to me? I get hurt. I get stabbed. A knife goes straight through my leg. I'm gonna show you. I would show you, but I don't have on pants. But if you ever meet me in person, ask me to show it, because there's this line and a deep indent where that knife was. She cut me. It was an accident. But if you ask any of my friends, oh, that bitch cut you. She cut you. It was just like, it was an accident. She was trying to kill herself. I was trying to protect her. Got all the knives. I guess she pushed me or something. Whatever happened, and the knife went into my leg. Absolutely hurt. I was bleeding. That happened, and we're yelling, arguing. We're loud because we're fighting. She's trying to fight me, and we're arguing. So our neighbors call the cops. The cops come, and we tell them what happened, and they get her and take her to the hospital to go to the psych ward. At where I went to school, mental health was super important. So they have mental health programs, mental health buildings, mental health sections in the hospital, like just dedicated for mental health. Like, they had people for mental health. Literally, you go to school, usually people went to school at my school to get that mental health degree. So they take her, and she's there. She's stuck there. She's checked in for like 2 weeks, and we're literally, it's like she's in jail. Like, we're going on with our relationship, and I only get to talk to her like once a day. But her therapist is like, no, you can't talk to her. For that first week, we couldn't even talk to each other because apparently I was a trigger for her, so I can't even see her. I couldn't even go up there to see her. Like, only her family could. I think her dad came down to see her once, her dad and her stepmom, and they were like, came to talk to me and was just like, yeah, y'all shouldn't be together. Y'all are too toxic. Like, you're no good. They were saying I was no good for her, and I was just like, you know what I've done for this woman? Like, first of all, you don't know the half of what I've done for this woman. I came out to my family for her. Like, there's stuff on stuff on stuff that I suffered from just dealing with her. Like, I would go into it, but it's a little too personal to talk about. I went through stuff and then for them to be like, oh, you're no good for her, or everybody in her life to be like, oh, you're no good for her. It's just like, what? Even her mom said that. No one's like seeing what I've done, seeing what I've done for her mom. She still said that. It was just like, okay. So I'm not able to see her. I'm not able to talk to her. But when she was able to talk to me, had phone privilege to talk to me, she'll call me. And she called me and she was just like, yeah, so I think I'm going to go move to live with my dad. And I was just like, what? Like, to me, you being my first like real girlfriend that I'm sleeping with, that hurt me. I was just like, wait, what? We can't work this out. You just gonna up and leave? Like, how's that gonna work long distance? Like, what's going on? Like, that was just the worst news to me. So I convinced her into not going, because she didn't really want to go anyway, because her dad was controlling, how military dads are. So she didn't want to go anyway. I also convinced her to stay as well. So she gets back. She finally gets released from the mental health place. I can't remember how long it took. And it's crazy because while we were in there, I think she had went to therapy, and we did a couples therapy thing. and we were talking. I learned a lot about communication going to her therapist. Her therapist agreed with me on a lot of things, and that she didn't like that, so she dropped that therapist. But however, I mean, I feel like she would have listened a little bit, because the therapist was just like, yo, this is that. And whatever I said pretty much was what the therapist was like, yeah, I get you. I understand. And that's how I learned a lot. I learned a lot. That's why I'm better at communicating now. Communication is everything. So she's back home because she's going to therapy and everything, and she's back home. And one night I guess she had called her, so her family called her or whatever, and she was on the phone with her family, and I guess her stepmom was saying something about no one loves you, or this and that. Like they said I was toxic, but they were toxic too. So then there all this other stuff, and I'm just like, bruh, I love you. And she's having a mental breakdown. I'm just like, bro, I love you. And it's like she is not hearing me. Like, I'm just like, yo, I love you. This is why I love you. These are the reasons why I love you. You see these things, you see what I'm doing, this and that. However the situation went, this is the part where she almost killed me. She's upset. She's in the shower, like she's taking a cold shower with all her clothes on, just sitting in the shower. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? She got the thing in the stop in there. Like, yo, what are you doing? If anyone knows me, I can swim, but I'm not a swimmer. You cannot throw me in a pool and I not drown. Like, like if I know I'm going to be in the water, yeah. If I'm going to be in a lake, I'm going to have a life vest on. So I'm trying to help her. Like, yo, come on now. And she goes and she is just holding my, like, she grabs me and she's just holding my head in the water, just hold me. I'm just like, babe, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Like, you know, I can't swim. I can't breathe. And I'm just literally, I feel the water. I'm just like, and now this part, it might not be complete. Like, I can't remember a lot of pieces of it. I remember like almost drowning because I've been trying to block this out of my, like, this whole relationship, that whole relationship I try to just block out of my mind, and I had to delete it, but I wanted to tell you guys about it. So she's trying to drown me in the shower, and I'm just like, bro, you really are drowning me. And I guess it clicks in her head like, oh my gosh, she's about to die. So she lets me up, and I'm just like, thank goodness. Now remind you, during our relationship, she is the first person who introduced me to marijuana, and that white girl named Becky, she introduced me to all of this. So a lot of the times we were high. She almost overdosed on cocaine. Like, a lot of experiences, a lot of times we were high off cocaine or marijuana. We crossed buds. Could be a reason why I don't remember a lot of stuff. And a lot of those moments were very escalated because we were on drugs. She was on drugs heavier than I was. Like, we would do cocaine and I would do it to, like, oh, okay, I'm good. But she would do it to, oh, I'm good. And I'd be like, bruh, you just took a whole fucking scoop. Like, what is that? A teaspoon of cocaine? So that happened. From when she almost drowned me, I had to get up out of there. I had to go. That was the end of it. I broke the lease. I moved back on campus. Like, she went back home. Like, that was the end of our relationship. Well, actually, no, that was not. Yep. Nope. Yep, that was the end of our relationship. Then I found out that she cheated on me. Remember all those times she said I cheated on her? She accused me of cheating on her. She cheated on me with her ex, and I found out about it because she told me. After, like, maybe a month after we stopped talking, because I still reached out to her because I loved her so much. I was just like, yo, we can work this out, like, whatsoever. Even though I left her, I was done. I'm the one who broke up with her. I wanted her back afterwards, but that was just because of my love. I wasn't thinking straight. I was using my heart and not my head. My head knew the girl was crazy. You never can trust a big booty and a smile. Can't trust Libras. Not going to date a Libra. Nope. Like, red flags. So yeah, we broke up and whatever, and she told me about that, and she was still hitting me up, still messaging me, still saying, oh, I want the tongue because it's amazing, like, the tongue was great. And she was hitting me up, and I let her girlfriend know, like, yo, your girl hitting me up, I got messages. And her girl did not like that. She still doesn't like me to this day. Like, and it's crazy because even after we broke up, a year later, like after I graduated from college, I hooked back up with her. I had sex with her still. Like, that's how I was like in love where she had me. She had me. So we had sex. And I told her one day, I would just let you know, because she had like completely blocked me from everything. I guess because her girlfriend was smart and was just like, no, you can't talk to her because you were cheap. But she blocked me from everything. And when she finally got back to talking to me, I would just like, you're not going to have this hold on me for long. Like, once I fall out of love with you, that's it. Like, I'm gonna be done with you. Like, you ain't gonna ever hear from me again. Because once I fall in love hard. So once I stop loving you like that, oh, she wrote, and it happened. It happened. I just stopped because she used to tell me crazy things. She told me that she was jealous of me. She told me that she used to cook to make me bigger. I'm insecure about my weight. So she used to want me to be fat. She would want me not to look good so people wouldn't look at me. She said she only was with me for my sex, which is okay, but I'd rather people just be honest with me about that. I'm a really great person, so we can just be fuck buddies if you just want me for my sex. Like, we don't have to do a whole relationship. Like, she told me so much about, and it's crazy because like my recent ex was on the same stuff. She was just like, I didn't want you to get ahead. I was holding you back. Like, I saw your potential, this and that, you're pretty, but I didn't want you to think that. Like, so many people just want to control me for some reason, and it's like, you ain't got to do all of that. Like, I like you, I'm only gonna look at you. So she told me all that stuff about that, and I was just like, man, like, you don't know a person that you think you know. Like, we were together for 3 years. Like, that's a lot. So yeah, that was my first toxic relationship, and I took a lot from that. I took bad things and good things from that. From my recent relationship, she said she was afraid of how I would react, because sometimes, like, I do have moments when I don't understand something, when it's really silly to me, like I don't understand, I freak out. I freak out when I don't understand something. I've always done that for forever. I used to, when I was younger, used to freak out about my homework because I didn't know how to do it. I couldn't figure it out. So I would have a whole temper, like meltdown, temper tantrum completely. So I took some of those habits and I was just like, I don't understand why I'm entitled to my own reaction. I can react how I want to because it's my feelings, but I understand some reactions aren't that great. I mean, I feel like I grew up in a household where if you wanted to yell, you felt like you need to yell, you could yell. Like now, I feel like I want to yell, I can yell. Mom's gonna look at me like crazy, but she's used to it. I have moments where I just freak out. Like the other day, I couldn't find my contacts when I knew I put them somewhere, but they just disappeared. So I literally destroyed my whole room, freaking out, angry. Like that depression was sneaking up on me. Like it was awful. Mom was like, "You scared me. I don't like when you freak out like that. You acting real crazy like the rest of your family." I'm just like, I'm sorry, I lost it. And I try not to lose it. That's why when you see me, I'm usually smiling. I'm happy because I don't want to lose it. I don't want my depression to sneak up on me. I don't want that because I have a lot of anger inside of me that I am not trying to catch a case because of, like, point blank period. So that was my first toxic relationship with a Libra, with a woman. So thank you for listening, just for your request, boo boo. And tune in again. Hit that subscribe button for